I want to thank my family for always supporting me with the sport, and especially my dad for being my coach throughout when I was in elementary school and BTS, and he was the one who really made me start this sport, and I'm really glad I get to finish it out with my whole family this year.
I just want to say thank you to my parents and my coaches for being great role models for me for the past couple of years of my life, and without them I don't think any of this would have been possible.
I would like to thank my Berkeley coaches from when I did AYC. I cheered for 12 years since then. I'd like to thank my mom for all the time and effort and money that she's put into me cheering. It's been a lot.
Really, my parents, before this year, they've been driving me everywhere, driving me to every game, and my brother, because he's the one who got me into hockey first.
I'd like to thank my mom and dad because they support me in everything, which is kind of annoying sometimes, but I'd like to thank Miss Leonard because she got me into bowling, and so did the captain at the time, Julie Dalton. She was amazing. And I'd like to thank O'Keefe for helping me through the past 3 years.
I want to thank my parents, all my coaches I've had throughout the years for the decade of basketball I've been playing throughout my life, and all my friends, supporters who've helped me throughout it.
I want to thank my dad for always being my #1 supporter and trying to come to every meet he can. And I want to thank my coaches for just pushing me throughout my 4 years here.
Coach Endelman and Nagel for filling in for her. My dad and my mom helping me out, dealing with me.
Mom and Dad for always taking me to meets and bringing me home for practice, even though you have to leave work sometimes. Just thank you for always being there and helping me.
I'd like to thank God for bringing me this far. I'd like to thank my parents for always paying for any kind of practice I have to go to.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for everything you've done for me, for taking me to and from practice and just dealing with my crazy schedule.
I'd like to thank my parents, giving me the genetics to run, and then also Bauer because he's the only one that's been pushing me. In middle school, nobody really pushed me to become my best, and Bauer was the only one that made me run these times.
I want to thank my mom for always being there. She's never given up on anything I've ever wanted to do. And my younger brother, who now wants to do swim because I did it. And Mr. and Mrs. Stout because they pushed me to start it my sophomore year, and I never would have ever thought to do it.
Like my mom and dad for always supporting me, helping me out with everything I need. And then Coach Bauer for even when I was running bad times, he's always kept coaching me throughout the whole 4 years I've been here.
I'd like to thank my mom, dad, sister, grandparents for supporting me all through my basketball journey. I've been playing basketball since I was 7 years old, so it's been a ride.
All right, thank you, Mom and Dad, and thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Stout. Thank you to all the swim friends for 2 years of an amazing journey.
I mean, my dad, since he introduced me to basketball, and Petitclerc, one of my favorite coaches, and obviously Fredo and Clemente, my other favorite coaches.
Thank Mom, Dad, my grandparents, and Mr. and Mrs. Stout for giving me a chance to swim.
I'd like to thank my parents, my grandparents, and my football coach, Coach Pitch, Coach Davis, just everybody that's helped me.
I'd like to thank my parents, my brothers, Coach Bauer, especially Coach Brian, who always pushing me to do my best.
I'd like to thank my parents for constantly supporting me for the last 4 years of high school.
I'd like to thank my parents for just supporting me and being there for me for the past years of my basketball career and just life in general.
I thank everyone for supporting me.
I'd like to thank my mom and dad for always helping me and pushing me to be my best self. And definitely my little brother too, because he's always pushed me as well.
Thank you to my parents for supporting me through these 3 years of bowling.
Thank you to ex-Coach Edelman and my parents and my little brother.
So I want to say thank you to ex-Coach Edelman, just like everybody else, Mr. Nagel for now filling the role, and my parents for putting up with me.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Coral. Thank you, Miss Mastronardi, for coaching me for the past 4 years. I want to thank my parents.
Thanks, Mom and Dad, for supporting me all through these years. And a special shout out to all of my coaches who helped me become the athlete I am today.
I want to thank my parents for always coming to my games and supporting me.
Thank you to my parents and my coaches for the past 4 years. I want to thank my mom, dad, and coaches for the past, I would say, 8 years of playing basketball.
Go with my parents and my coaches. Parents have been there no matter what, ever since I was younger, obviously. And coaches really helped me along the way. always.
I want to say thanks to my parents and everything because they've just been my biggest supporters and they've helped me create me as a person even with playing these sports.
I would like to thank my mom and dad for always taking me to my practices, and I would like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Stout for giving me the opportunity to swim again.
I would like to thank my parents, my brothers, and my coaches for helping me throughout my swimming career.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, and Mr. and Mrs. Stout for letting me swim.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, and Stouts, Mrs. and Mr. Stouts, for helping me swim throughout all these years.
I want to thank my mom, my main supporter, for everything she's done, and I'm really grateful. I'll thank my mom, my dad for supporting me and going to all my track meets and baseball games.
I'd like to thank all of my family, friends, coaches, teachers for the last, it's been 6 years of doing track. Thank everybody who's helped me on this journey.
The parents, my friends, Coach Plum, everyone who has helped me the past couple of years just helped me grow throughout high school.
I'd like to thank my mom because she supported me ever since I started track and she always buys me everything that I need.
I just want to say thank you to my coaches, my parents, and everyone who supported me.
Thank you very much, Mom and Dad, for supporting me through my track career.
I want to thank my parents for everything they've done for track and baseball, all the years.
Obviously my mom and my dad, and I'd say Coach Brian and Coach Plummer taught me everything I know about swimming.
I'd like to thank God, my parents, my coaches for always supporting me and paying for me to go to club and driving me to tournaments. I've been wrestling since I was in 7th grade and I love it.
My rec team coach, Coach Joe. I want to thank my father, Peppy again, Coach Brennan, Jacobs, Miss Witt. They have all pushed me. They've been kind to me. They've helped me get to where I am today. Especially my parents, my father, and my mother. They're the ones that got me into this sport. They're the ones that pushed me beyond to what I'm able to achieve today.